What's good, y'all? What's good? I'm chuckling because I don't have any cool music. I don't have any cool hold music yet for you guys, so it's gonna be a bit of awkward silence for the next minute and 20 seconds. But we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that. Not yet. I'm working on it. I got some stuff in the playlist. You know, I'm gonna make sure it's royalty free. You know what I'm saying? All right. Howdy, y'all. Howdy. I literally just set this up, so let's see if it switches the scene. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Boom, it did it. Cool. Y'all, I just set up an countdown overlay for the first time in probably a couple years. So we're gonna talk about it today. What's good, y'all? I gotta start over. Ecamm Fam, what's good, y'all? What is good? It's good to see everybody. Looks like we got about a dozen viewers so far. Triple P, Purple Paisley Planners, great to see you as always. Thank you so much for showing up week after week. I sincerely appreciate it. Mr. Moderator, what is good? Dr. Omar, it's good to see you. Rodney, what up, fam? What is good? Gabe, man, great to see you. Hey, Katie, thanks for moderating over there on LinkedIn. I appreciate it. Hello, hello. Steve, what's happening, my brother? It's good to see you, man. So, look, I always have some surprise faces that show up on these, man. I sincerely appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hello, Ambi. Hello, David. Great to see you, man. Business growth ready from the UK. What is good? Thank you so much for tuning in from across the pond. All right, guys, we got a good one today. How to create countdown timers and overlays in Ecamm, because they really worked hand in hand. So I'm going to show you that today, and I'm excited about it. All right. Eric, great to see you. Great to see you. Okay. All right. So first, why would you want to use a countdown timer? I feel like these days they aren't quite as popular as they were, let's say a year or two ago. Well, at least the length of them have decreased, at least in based on what I've seen. But it's recommended in most cases. I know I break that rule a lot. But using the countdown timer before your live streams is recommended. Why? Because it's kind of like a waiting room. It gets people excited. It gives people time to join the stream, right? It gives the streamer time to share it out to different platforms, right? That way, if people are a couple minutes late, you get to show up, and hopefully the person hasn't gotten to the meat of the content quite yet, right? I may even be a little early right now. I don't know. I've seen countdown timers anywhere from, let's say, 10 minutes before the show up to a few minutes before the show. And as you saw, the one I just did was just 2 minutes. So, I may experiment with that, but I'm definitely open to recommendations. So it just allows people to come on in and get situated, grab their popcorn, grab their coffee, and it allows the stream to get situated as well. So that is why using a countdown timer for live streams is recommended. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that today. So we got Rodney says use mine for 3 minutes, but seeing that my son's is performing. Yeah, and the thing is, you can pretty much do whatever you want. I've seen one where people are dancing, it's pre-recorded. I've seen one where people or just not really doing anything, right? And I've seen countdown timers with nobody present on them, like not showing the camera at all. I mean, you could do that as well. But in my opinion, you probably should, just because it kind of gets people excited. They get to see your face, if you can. I know there's some situations where you probably can't show your face or show the camera until you actually go live. But if you can, it's always recommended that you should. All right, so Ecamm Live makes it super easy to do that. So I'm going to show you how to do it. It's so easy, y'all, and I talk about this every week. You can figure it out a few minutes beforehand, just like I did. I did do a timer a couple years ago when I first started using Ecamm for my my feedback Friday in the group, but now I just go live. I just pop in there, I just go live. I don't even use a timer. But I did that, and I pre-made the countdown, so I just played that, and I didn't have any camera on that at all. But you know what? I can show you guys what that looked like a couple years ago, and then I'll get into how to do that. And people match the countdown to the length of music as well. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yep. Okay, countdown timer is usually 2 minutes. Cool, cool. Yeah, that's super dope, man. That is super dope. The possibilities are endless. I feel like I say that all the time when we're dealing with Ecamm, right? The possibilities are truly endless. So let me see if I can find my countdown real quick. If not, we'll just jump right in. I haven't used it in a while, but I made it and I just used it. Let me see, countdown.mov. There it is. Look at that. Okay. So give me 1 second, y'all, and I will pull it up here. And hold on. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is actually one I did for my father-in-law for his church service. So I'm just going to drag it in to a scene. Countdown.mov. Okay, I have all of them here. So, all right, so I'm going to just drag this one in. Boom. It's been so long. Just have to hit the camera. It's been so long since I did that. So if you do that, if you do something like that, y'all, there's this video file button here. You guys can't see that. Let me pop in a live demo mode. Okay. All right. So there's a video mode button here that it was on, a video file. So I had to pop back over to the camera. So let me put this back on. Okay, we're good to go. Sorry about that. All right, and then this Feedback Friday one I have as well. I think I may have had this one with music. Let me see here. Okay. Boom. All right, so that's something you could do as well, but we're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it really simple. And actually, while those were playing, I think my mic may have been muted as well. So you probably couldn't even hear what I was saying, but I believe the mic is muted. Somebody confirm that for me. Okay, got it. Yep. Okay, good point. So you're right. So when you do have the countdown timer displayed, it will mute. Okay, so the first one I showed you guys was a countdown timer for my father-in-law. All right, for his church service, and the second one I showed you was one that I had for Feedback Friday. So as you can see, it wasn't the actual numbers going down, counting down. It was like live in a few, live in a bit, and then once it got to 5, it was like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, and I believe I had that synced up to the music at the time as well. So, okay, cool. All right, so now we're here in live demo mode. In order to get the actual countdown, you have to go up to overlays, and then do new countdown overlay. But first, you can do that here, or you can do that on the overlays panel down here. But first, what I want to do is set up a new scene. Okay. So Mr. Moderator says you can decide if you want it to be muted or not. Okay, cool. So I have an idea where that is, and we're going to see it. We're going to check it right now. So I'm going to do a new countdown scene just to get the countdown timer up onto the screen. All right. So I'll do on the scenes panel right here, plus new scene. Let's just do MC countdown for Marshall Creates. MC countdown. So I have a new scene. I'm going to do source blank. So I'm going to go away for a second. Okay. And now I'm going to go to either up here, overlays, new countdown overlay, or down here for under overlays and do the new countdown overlay. So when I do that, this will pop up. Okay. So let me see, where is the mute here? If it's not here, it'll be in the preferences, I'm sure. So this is what the panel looks like, where you can adjust the settings for your countdown. So you can adjust the duration right here, the alignment, and then what if you want it to auto start or go to the next scene when finished. So you can do countdown for the amount of time, countdown to a date, clock, or stopwatch. So of course, most of us will be, you just want to leave it here, countdown for amount of time, or you can select your time. Okay. Cool. Okay, got you. So mute is on the main scene. Okay. Sound pane where your mic is. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're going to test it out in a second. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate it. Okay, as you can see here, you can select pretty much any font that is installed on your computer. Just cycle through them. Of course, I have thousands because I'm a graphic designer. So I have all kinds of fonts installed, right? So you can just select the type of font that you want. And then if you want a shadow, like a drop shadow or a glow to it. So you can't really see the shadow because, well, you can see a little bit because I'm on dark mode here, and the actual text is white. And color, you can choose the color of the font as well. Okay. So in my case, I'll just keep it the simple white. Okay. All right. So I like this one. This looks cool to me. Okay. So I'll add this here. So this is how you add the countdown, and you can adjust it. You can add this here. This is how you add it. Let me bring my photo, my video back just so you can see me. So this is how you add it. So let's see. So if I am muted, let me go back here let me hit the pencil. Okay, go to the next scene when finished. Okay. So I'm not muted. So if it was muted, maybe I would just hit this. So that's for the video overlay. I got it. Okay. Yep. So for the video overlay that I dropped in, it will automatically mute myself. I got you. Cool. So the countdowns aren't automatically muted, but if you bring something in like a video file that you drop in, that will automatically mute if I'm not mistaken. And then you could toggle the mute on or off by toggling it here, right here for your main microphone. Cool. So what we're going to do now, y'all, is create an overlay for this to go on to. Okay. So let's do that. So there are a few different ways that we could do that. All right. So let me just remove this for now. There are a few different ways that we could do that. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So we could do Canva, of course. I know that's probably the easiest way to do that. I personally use Affinity Designer. It's like a $50, $60 program. It's similar to Photoshop. I use Photoshop as well, but I have like certain uses for the different tools that I use. Like I use Illustrator for logos, Photoshop for photo manipulation, Affinity for like anything graphic, flyer related, stuff like that. So my wheelhouse is Affinity Designer, but I know that may be a bit more advanced. So what we're going to start doing is I'm going to do something in Canva first, right? And I don't use that, but I did play around with it a few minutes ago. So I did see how we can do something simple, and then I'll show you what I would do in Affinity Designer. And if we have time, I will show you how we'll add some movement to it in Final Cut Pro. All right. So, okay, cool. Let's get into it, y'all. So I'm going to switch my scene here. Okay. And we're going to bring up Canva. Okay. Okay. You guys can see this. Alrighty. So in Canva, we're going to go to create a design at the top right. Oh, you know what? I think I'm in the wrong group. Let me go personal. Okay, create a new design, and I'm going to do presentation, which is 1920 by 1080. I won't bother with 4K right now. I'm sure it will look fine. And I don't even know if I can, being a free member. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that for now. Okay, yeah, I don't even know how to change it. Oh, resize. Oh, yep, it is a pro feature, so I don't have access to it. I had Canva Pro at some point, but I wasn't using it. So, yeah, we don't have that right now. So 1920 by 1080 is fine. So we have a blank canvas, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create something similar to what we did, what I started the show with. So I'm going to go over to elements, right? And I'm going to, under lines and shapes, I'm going to scroll over to this circle. I'm actually going to do 2 circles. So I'm going to click the corner of this circle. Oh, you know what? I actually have to go. Yeah, this is right. Yeah, go to the circle, drag the circle over here. And I'm going to make it huge. I'm just dragging these corners, right? And I probably need to add a square back here as well, just to make sure it's covered. You know what? This is fine. This is fine for now. So what I'm going to do is hit this color button up here, go to white. Can't see it now, so let's make it gray. Let's make it gray instead of white. So you see, here we are, gray. Okay, I'll leave it gray for now. All right, and now I'm going to go down to, on the left hand side, go down to frames, because I want to use my own photo as the background. If you didn't, you can of course change the color here to whatever color you want, but I want mine to be the famous Ecamm background that I love, the gradient background that I use. Okay, so now I pop this in this frame, and I'm gonna make it large here. I'm actually gonna make it even larger so I can cover this side. So I probably need to make this larger as well. Okay. So if I can remember, oh, okay. So I have to go to uploads now. Are you guys following me? Let me make sure I have my comments up so I can see you guys. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go to uploads and then go to upload media. Oh, wow. They have the stuff I did in there for Canva, for Ecamm a while ago. And I'm going to go and select the Ecamm background. Upload. Okay, my understanding is I can just drag this right into this frame and it should show up. So let's let it upload here. Building blocks on Fulgence. What's good? It's great to see you guys. Okay, so let me drag this over. Boom. Okay, so I don't know if I can adjust the placement. Let me see if I double click. I can. Okay, cool. I can adjust the placement of it. So let's do it more blue than the orange. And how do I get out of it? Okay, boom. So that looks good so far. Let me see if I can add some type of drop shadow to it. Let me go to edit image. See, I don't know. Copy style. I don't know if I can add a drop shadow to it. Anybody, any Canva experts, let me know. But if not, we'll just leave it without the drop shadow for now. Oh, here it is, shadows. Okay. This may not be the right one, but we're gonna see. Drop. Okay, it did it, but not not on the circle. So let me go back, select the frame, and try that again. Edit image, shadows, drop. Okay, yeah. So they didn't do what I wanted to do. So we're gonna forget that for now. All right. All right, I'm doing Command Z, and that didn't seem to work. Okay, there it is. Double click. All right, we're gonna leave this here. All right, now I'm gonna try to add a drop shadow, and hopefully it doesn't do that here. Let me see this. Okay. Huh. Not seeing the same options here, y'all. Elements. Okay. Yeah, I don't see the same options. So let me go to effects maybe. Okay. Shadow. I guess you may not be able to do that on the shape. So I guess not. I guess you can't do that. Okay, well, we'll just leave that for now. But now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create I just want the right side where I'll have my camera overlay. I want that to be a little dim. Okay. So I'm gonna add another shape here. Gonna move it over and I'm gonna reduce the opacity of it. So let's say that looks fine. Now I have to put this below. So I have to go to position and then backward. And I'll do backward again. All right, so now I can see this gray circle. So I'll just go ahead and make this white now so I can see it, since I can see it. All right, boom. So you know what? I want to add the Marshall Creates with Ecamm on here as well. So I'm gonna add the text. I'm with the text, and I'm gonna make this white. And I'm just gonna do until. Okay. See if I can make it smaller like this. I don't know what font this is, but let's see if they have something like Poppins. I like Poppins. Boom, Poppins. Let me see if I can expand the spacing in between the letters. Poppins extra bold. I don't think I can. Underline, uppercase. Okay, I guess I can't. It's limited text options. That's fine. I'm working with what we got. And I'm going to add in the Marshall Creates with Ecamm logo really quickly. All right. So uploads. I think I have it saved. Boom, that's good. Upload. Drag this over. Ooh, see, it wants to put it inside of that that circle, but I won't let it. Oh Lord, how am I gonna avoid that? Somebody let me know. Can I lock this layer? Okay, lock. Boom. All right, there we go. Learn on the fly here, y'all. Canva's not my thing. But I know a lot of people use it and it's easy to use. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my my actual countdown up there once I get this into Ecamm. Okay. Cool. This looks a little too bold for me. Alrighty. Okay. Like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and save this out. So I'll go to share, download. Go to PNG, make sure it's a PNG, okay? Transparent background, okay? Download. Canva 2023. No, man. Sammy, you might not know, but I'm a graphic designer. So, no, Canva, I don't need to know Canva. But if you're not a designer, absolutely, you should. I mean, you should if that's something that you don't outsource to somebody on your team or something like that. Yeah, but no disrespect to anybody who uses it. I know it's a powerful tool, and I know designers who use it faithfully. So nothing against it, but nah, by the grace of God, I use platforms that are a lot more robust and give me a lot more creative control, which I'll show you in a second. All right. Oh, so okay. Marshall creates background. Okay. Cool. All right. So now we have that. Let's bring that over into Ecamm. So I'm going to pop back into live demo mode. Oh, I've been in live demo mode this whole time. Oh, wow. I forgot. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so we're in live demo mode. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back to my Marshall Creates countdown scene, and I'm going to go to source blank, but I'll do that. Yeah, I'll go to source blank. Okay. I'm going to add in this overlay. All right. Marshall Creates background. So I'm going to add it in from the Finder. Boom. Now I'm going to add a camera overlay. Okay. Down here on the overlays panel. Boom. Hit the pencil icon. Change it to custom. We love custom. Custom is like my favorite word. Custom. Everything custom. All right, let me move this sucker over here and then drag this. If you see the overlays, you have different layers here. So I'm gonna drag this below this overlay scene. Overlay, overlay, boom. So now as you see, I'm a bit dim. Okay, so now what I can do is add in the countdown. Okay. Mr. Camera Junkie, great to see you. All right, so I'm gonna go to the countdown. Well, I actually had one made, but I'll do a new one. Countdown overlay here. And I'll just do add. Boom. And we're looking good, y'all. So you can, of course, edit it by hitting this pencil icon. Change it, let's say, to 5 minutes. Change the text, the font. So let's say you want to find some cool fonts to use for your countdown. Let me just find one real quick. This is fine. I'm good with this for now. I'm the type that would sit here and literally just go through for like 20 minutes trying to find a perfect font. So try not to do that now. This is cool. We're gonna stick with this. All right. That looks cool. So now what I can do real quick is show you guys where to find some good fonts if you want to use some fonts for your countdown that are better than the typical fonts that you would use. Okay. So I showed you guys popping, so I should show you what that would look like here. Let me see if I hit P. Will it go? It didn't. Okay. Love popping jaw. I use it in my web design projects a lot. It's just a nice, simple, clean font. You can select the weight and the size as well. See how clean that is? It's simple. You can't hate on that font, y'all. It's just like the most basic font there is. Yep. Okay, so appreciate it. Yep. If you got a question, hit me with the Q and the colon. All right. All right, so let's find some fonts. Let me pop out a live demo mode real quick, y'all. Let me see options, live demo mode. Okay. And cool. Okay, so what I like to do is use Envato Elements, y'all. Surprise, surprise. They have a ton of fonts, and it's not stuff that's not like the typical boring stuff that you would find. You can also go to like 1001freefonts.com and stuff like that. But I like using Envato Elements because I know I have a license to use the font. So let's say I do end up repurposing my live streams or selling it or anything like that. I just don't want any smoke. All right, legally. So I like using Envato Elements because they give you a really good license to use that pretty much covers everything. I need a sponsorship from them or something at this point because I talk about it every week. But if you go here and go over to fonts. Oh, that's a good tip. Yes. So if you don't want, I'm going to modify this background a bit really quickly so you guys can see this background. Boom. Okay. There we go. Yes. If you don't want your countdown numbers to jump around, use a fixed width font. Oh, I don't know. Did I just mess something up, y'all? I think I messed my font up. I don't know. We'll see. Let me see. I just did something. I messed this up somehow. I don't know what I did. Hold on, y'all. I got to change the font back to Gilroy, which is one of my other favorite fonts. Okay, cool. We should be good now. Let me see. Boom, there we go. Perfect. Yes. Yeah, you want to use a fixed width font if you don't want your numbers to jump around. Right, exactly. Yup. So I can show you what he means really quickly. Live demo mode. Okay. So you see how it's moving just a bit depending on what numbers it is. See how it just moved? Like the 4 isn't in the same spot depending on the number. It won't do that if it's more of a fixed width font. Yep. So you just have to find one that is a fixed width from your list. Some of them are, some of them aren't. It really just depends. But you could preview it right here. Yep. You can also add your fonts to the favorites folder as you find them. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Boom, favorites. Cool. So I'm assuming you just hit this plus, or do you drag it in there? How do you add it to the favorites? Let me see. Okay, so you can add a new collection. Gotcha. Learning something new, y'all. So I don't know how you add it to the favorites. Somebody help me out. Fixed with collections column. Gotcha. Cool. Appreciate it. It's right there. Cool. As far how do you add it to the right? I know, right? Yep. Look, I learn something new every day, y'all. I learn something new every day. Okay. All right, let's pop back over to show you fonts. So I think I've shown you guys this before, but there are just so many fonts as you can see. It's like literally thousands and thousands, but you can find, let's say, a simple font. Let's just say, just type in like simple sans serif. And then you kind of preview what the actual fonts will look like. And then you can download them. So let's say I want this font. You also want to make sure they have numbers too, because not all the fonts have numbers. So this looks like it may not. So I'll pick something different. This looks like a cool font. And it does have numbers. So I'm going to download this one really quickly. Let's just do Ecamm. Boom, make sure I got my right license. Better be safe than sorry, right? So go here to all my files. So 5. I'm gonna double click this. So first I need to save, I'm gonna save the OTF file in Dropbox because that's where I keep my fonts. Because I have like people that have access to my Dropbox. So I want to make sure we all have access to the same fonts first. Okay, so now I'll go back. And I'm going to drag this into the font book. Okay. Really drag the OTF file into the font book. So it's called Seagull. So now we can pop back over into Ecamm. Change this to Seagull. I don't know if I would have to restart it or not in order for it to pop up. I know, look, there it is. Boom. I know some programs you have to restart, but for the most part, and I'm glad Ecamm does this, it'll be there pretty much within a couple seconds. It may refresh and then it'll pop up. Okay. So that's where I recommend you get your fonts from. You can also use free fonts and stuff, but I just like having that security, knowing that like legally I'm just using it appropriately and I'm not just grabbing like random fonts. I just don't want any smoke. Down the line, I can't afford it. All right. So now what I'll do, let me see. We have any questions? Cool. We got any questions so far? Pause site. Oh, positive vibe. Got it. Positive vibe. Says that's a solid UI. I love the inline display. Have to select the font weight when dragging. Yup. Cool. So what I'll do now, y'all, is I'm going to pop back over to my main scene. You know what? Let's do the screen share scene. And I'll show you how I do one inside of Affinity Designer. All right. So can you see this? It's one of my clients. Don't mind him. Hey, shout out to David Shand, y'all, real quick. He actually uses Ecamm for his Brain Picker podcast. He has a couple 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Check him out. Sleepers for Suckers. He uses it for podcasts. So yeah, Ecamm. It's being used all over the place by some pretty dope folks, y'all. So let me go to let me see. I'll do new. So I'm gonna do this one in 4K, y'all. So 3840 by 2160, and I'll do create. And I'm gonna make sure my background, this is the artboard here, is transparent. Okay. So document setup, the color, do transparent background. So it's really simple. I mean, it's quite as simple as Canva, but as you can see, I have my shape options here. So what I'm going to do, let me see if I can think of a different one, to do really quickly. Yeah, I have an idea. For one that I can do. Yeah, I appreciate you, Mr. Moderator. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add a full background, and I'm going to find one from, you may not be able to see this, so I'll make it red. I'm going to find one from Vital Elements really quickly, just like a different background, because I know you guys are probably tired of seeing the same one. So I'm just going to do abstract background. So you guys are going to see how fast that we can do this, okay? So not stock video, not stock photos. You could technically, I'm sure, do a video for your background, like an actual video. But I'm going to find one Oh, this looks cool, y'all. You know what? This looks really cool. I'm gonna do something really off the wall here, y'all. Katie, if this is cool, let me know. But I just got a really cool idea. Okay. Yeah, I just got a really cool idea. So this may be a bit more advanced, y'all, but we're gonna roll with it. Okay, we're gonna roll with it. So I got my downloads. I'm gonna go here. This is very interesting to me. So this is actually an Illustrator file, EPS, transparent PNG. Let me see what this looks like. Oh, wow. This is very interesting to me, y'all. This is very interesting to me. What I'm going to do is grab the Illustrator file. You know what? I don't want to get too, I don't want to get too technical on this, just in my excitement. So let me find something else real quick, y'all. Let me find something else. But you know what? I'll just show you what I was going to do real quick, and then I'll come back to it. All right, y'all. We got a little time. So let me open it up. Excuse my excitement. And sometimes as designers, we have those moments, right? Where it's like, oh my God, you know what I can do? I can do X, Y, and Z. Okay, so this is the Illustrator file. All right. So what I want to do is grab this. So I'm just gonna grab this one. So it has these shapes isolated. So these are vector files that are pretty much isolated. I want to grab these, Command C, and I'm going to paste them here. So don't mind the red. We'll get rid of it in a minute. So the idea is that I have, and I'm going to change this red to change it back to white. But to use this, y'all, as where my camera overlay will be behind it. You see what I'm saying? So I could do that. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to do something even more simple. So let's go back to Envato Elements. Find something a bit more simple. Okay. Oh, this is a cool one too, y'all. Let's do this. This will illustrate my point as well. So I'm going to download this. Okay. Come here. Hexagonal background. I'm going to open up Affinity Designer. Again, let me see, Command Tab. Where are we? Okay. So let me delete all of these. I'm pretty much going to do the same thing I was going to do, but just do it like this. So I'll do place. So, oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm actually going to have one of these hexagons as the camera overlay or behind it. So let's do, oh, I got an even better idea. But you know what? Yeah, I got an idea, y'all. Okay. All right. Select the shape tool and go down to the polygon tool. And I need to add an extra side to it, right? Boom. Okay, so just to re-illustrate what I just did. So I hit the shape tool. I went down to the polygon tool. And you can add more sides to it. So by default, I had 5 sides, but I knew I wanted 6, right? So if I wanted to add more sides, you can do it like this. So place this here. Let me check my comments really quickly, y'all. Hey, Kath, it's great to see you. Always, shout out to Kath. Okay. So I'm going to place this here. You guys may know where I'm going with this. All right. And then I'm actually going to use a few of these. Okay, so let me see which ones I want to use. So I'll use this one too. So I'm holding Option and I'm clicking and dragging. So you see where I'm going with this, y'all? So now what I'm going to do is combine all of these together by hitting this add button up here. So now I have this shape. Can you guys see the shape? I have this shape. It's just one shape. So now I'm going to punch this out of the background, y'all. Real simple. So I'm going to select these two layers over here and then do this minus subtract right here. Actually, let me do this first. Command. I'm actually going to drag this into this rectangle first and then punch this out of this rectangle. Boom. So now I have my transparent background back there. But let me just add a bit of a drop shadow really quickly. So I hit this effects down here and then go to outer shadow and you guys can see what'll happen. So I'm going to do offset, radius, give me some depth, opacity, increase it just so I can add some more depth. And I can actually change this color as well by hitting adjustments and then doing recolor. Okay, so I could change it to pretty much any color I want. So let's just do this orange. And while we're here, let's do a gradient. So I'm gonna do a Command J to duplicate this. Okay, still in demo mode. Got you. Can you guys see this? All right. You guys can see Affinity Designer though, right? Appreciate it. Let me come back here. Demo mode. Okay. Cool. But you guys could see everything I was doing, right? I hope so. I appreciate it, David. Okay, so I'm gonna add a gradient. So I'm actually gonna change the color of this one. So I just duplicated the orange one, so I'm gonna change this one to this red looks cool, but now I'm gonna use the transparency tool. So look, y'all. So I have this red one over top of this red one over top of this orange one. Can y'all see that? But I'm gonna actually adjust the transparency of it to make a gradient. So I'm actually fading one into the other. I know this is a bit more advanced. I probably shouldn't have did all this, but just to show you the power of what we can do here. So the thing is, we have these dark lines. So what I'm gonna do is what should I do? I'm gonna add another layer, just a shape layer over top of it. I'm gonna make it, let's say, red, and then reduce the opacity of it. So at least right here, just because those actual lines are kind of harsh, right? So now, drag it up here. So now I'll just reduce the opacity of this layer as it goes over here, because it's not important that those lines are showing over here, but it is over here because this is where we're going to put our countdown timer. All right, so let me export this out real quick. Thanks for sticking with me. So let me do 3900 here. So artboard one, let's just change this to new countdown overlay. And do file export, PNG, 3840 by 2160. New camera overlay, export. So I'm going to do new countdown overlay. Cool. So now we'll pop to live demo mode again. All right. So I have this new countdown overlay here. So I'm going to do a new scene. Or I'll just go to this countdown scene and duplicate this. All right. Or no, let's start it from scratch. Let's start it from scratch, y'all. So I'm going to do a new scene. So plus a new countdown scene. And I'm going to do source blank. Because if I just drag the overlay here, can see, like I'm not, I have to move over. So I'm going to do source blank. Okay. And then go to new camera overlay, custom. Y'all know I'm looking for custom for the shape. Drag myself. So I'm using Affinity Designer. I use Affinity Designer. I love that program. So now I can drag this below. Boom. Isn't that cool, y'all? So then I can add my countdown. Add this over here. And boom. Of course, I will want to add some text like, oh, the show begins in blah, blah, blah. But as you can see, it looks good. It looks good. So what I can do is zoom in and then move myself down. Let me see. Probably too close to the top. There we go. Still have this little point. Still had this little point right here. I should have thought about, but this looks good to me. I could have added like a more of an overlay, like a faded overlay over top of myself. But just to show you what you could do. All right. So, does anybody have any questions? I don't know if I have time to get into Final Cut today to show you how to do like more of like an animated background or animated overlay for your background. But yeah, what questions do we have, y'all? So let me pop back to get out of live demo mode. Cool. Let me know, y'all want to see me do another one. I have something I can show y'all real quick. So let me come down to my screen share scene. Not in live demo mode, right? Okay, so there's a website called Blob Maker, I believe. Yeah, check this out, y'all. Blob Maker app. So you can get PNGs. I believe you can do PNGs. I know you can, at a minimum, do SVGs, right? So you can make your own blobs. So you can choose how many sides you want, right? If you want more sides, you could change the color of your blob. So if you just have simple graphics, you just want some random blobs for, go to blobmaker.app, right? This is like more round to more like ambiguous. Roll the dice, just random. So let me grab one of these and do a quick overlay, a quick countdown overlay. All right. Okay. That looks cool. So I'll download this. The color doesn't matter to me because I'm actually going to punch it out of a background. Okay. So let me see what actual, oh, so it actually downloads the SVG file, y'all. It doesn't do a PNG. I'm sorry. So this is SVG files is scalable vector graphics. So it's typically used for websites. Typically used for like logos and websites and stuff like that. But if you do have a program like Illustrator or Affinity Designer that uses SVGs, you can use it there. So I'm just going to do it just to show you really quickly. Blob that SVG, and I'll find another image really quickly. Let me see. Blob background. Video graphics. I don't like any of these. Final Cut Pro. You asked for it, you got it. So let's do that. Let's do that instead of this last thing. But anyway, you can download a blob if you want, and do it that way. So up here we got Final Cut Pro. All right. We're not live demo, right? Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, and I haven't done this, but I have an idea of what I want to do. Okay. So there are different generators and stuff like that you can buy, but we're going to do one from scratch. Okay. So I'm going to go to, this is in response to JFG. I got you, my brother. I got you. Or my sister. I don't know. So I got my hard drive. Let me plug my hard drive in, y'all. because I don't like keeping Final Cut Pro libraries on my computer eating up space. So I got my hard drive in. What assets do we need? Let's go ahead and create our assets really quickly. So what I'm gonna do, and don't mind the nerdiness, I just like to use like Illustrator, Affinity Designer, etc. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just use Affinity Designer since that's what we were using already. And let me go back to Affinity Designer. Okay. So I'm actually just gonna make another artboard here. Okay. And I want to make the circles. So we're gonna do one that has like circles spinning, so we'll do that first. Okay. Cool. So I'll do file. I actually have a file that I reference all of the time. Let's do master vectors, but I'll show you where to get some of these from. Okay. So I have like a bunch of different little vectors and stuff that I use. But if you want to find stuff, they don't have to be vectors. You can actually get PNGs, and I'm about to export these out as PNGs as well. Mr. Monterey says SVG to PNG. Boom. I appreciate it. Look at that. You see how the community comes together, y'all? So I'm going to select 2 of these, but first I'm going to show you where to get some of these cool little elements from. You could do like Adobe Stock. And Vital Elements has some, y'all. Or you could do Vecteezy.com. Okay. Not sure how much this is a month. Maybe like $12.99 a month. But check out Vecteezy, and let's just do like circles. Let's just do circles for now for vectors. And they give you some different circles that you could choose from and download. This looks like it would be cool, right? You know what? Let's use this. Let's use this. So I'm gonna download this. Oh, it's gonna make me sign in. Okay, I gotta remember which account I have. Is it under this? Okay. Oh Lord, hold on, y'all. I remember which account it's under. Of course, now I'm on live. They know that, so they're like, okay, we're gonna drag our feet with logging him in. Even though I haven't logged in here in forever. So yeah, it's still logging in. Let's try this again. Okay, finally. Okay, I'm gonna do download now. So what I'm gonna do is open that up. Let me close this. Where did that save, y'all? Hold on. Let me come back. I don't even know where that saved. Okay, it is there. Okay, I just didn't see it. Okay. To unzip the file first. So open this EPS file up into Affinity Designer. So I'm just going to change this to white. Okay. So I'm going to show y'all this really quickly. Document setup, color format, RGB, transparent. So I'm just going to change this to white. So can y'all see this? But I'm actually going to add a drop shadow so it'll make it easier to see this. Outer shadow, offset. Okay. So I'm going to do Command C. No, I'll leave it like, Command C. New from clipboard. Okay. So I'll export this circle out. It's huge, but I'm going to create a new folder in my external hard drive for, let's just do Marshall Creates. I'm creating a new library in a second. Okay, I'll do a folder for media, Final Cut. Okay, and I'm going to save this in here as like weird circle. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and create my, I'm going to create a couple layers for, that I'm going to use inside of Final Cut. All right. So, all right. But luckily I already kind of did that here. So I did this earlier. This is for my background. So what I'm going to do is hide Marshall Creates, hide that shadow, hide until. I'm going to hide. Yeah, I'll hide this for now. You know what? I'll keep that. So I'm just going to export these out separately. So this is that overlay that I had on top of myself. Let me reduce the opacity some. So I want to export these out separately because I want them to move separately inside of Final Cut. All right, so I'm going to animate them separately inside of Final Cut. So as you can see, it's 3840 by 2160. It's a PNG file, export, and I'm just going to say like faded overlay. For this, now I'm going to add this white circle in, and I'll save this as white circle. I haven't done this, y'all, but we about to do it for the first time. I'll save this as gradient. I know it's going to look dope too. And I'll save this as Marshall Creates logo. Okay. And I'll have until separately as well. Is it there? I can't tell if it is or not. Oh, there it is. Okay, the word until, file export. Just to give me more granular control. All right, so that's good, that's good. I think we're good for now. Yeah, so what I'm also gonna do, y'all, is I'm gonna keep it simple. So I'm just gonna have a circle. I'm just gonna do the circle in here. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab a circle. Let me file new. Let's just do 2000 by 2000. And I'm just going to create a circle to have. So we're going to put our camera overlay on top of a circle, okay? Of like a white circle with a shadow. See how easy it was to make that drop shadow here? I couldn't do it inside of Canva. It probably is an easy way to do it, but. All right, so now I'm going to export this out as a PNG, and it's going to do circle, white main circle. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and add this stuff into Final Cut. So I have Final Cut open. So now I'm going to do a new library. So file, new library. Okay, I'm going to go to Marshall Creates. I'm going to do Marshall Creates library. Okay, now I'm going to do import media. Go back to my media folder that I just created. Marshall Creates media, and add in all of this stuff. I'm going to leave the files in place. I'm going to leave all of that. Yes, ProRes 444. Right, yeah. Yup, that's right. Yup, ProRes 444. Yup, and I'll show you how to do that at the end. Yup. So now we have all our elements, y'all. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start layering this stuff in. So I'm going to add in the fader overlay first. Okay. Oh, I have to do new project. I'm sorry, y'all. Got to do new project first. Okay. New project, 4K, rendering. Let's go ahead and jump to 444 right now, because that's how we're going to render it out. All right. Okay. So we're going to hit 444, because if you leave it here, it's not going to export with the transparent background. Yep. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So let's just do Marshall creates. I was right here. Where were you last week? I was right here. Yeah, definitely check out. This is episode 5, y'all. So check out last week, and the week prior. Okay. All right. So we got the faded overlay. You can't really see it, but I'm gonna drag it. You still aren't gonna be able to see it right now, and that's fine. So let's just make this a minute long. Okay. Dragged it onto the timeline here. Okay. Now I'm gonna add the white circle to it. Make that a minute long. Just layering the stuff in. The gradient. Add this over top. Make that a minute long. So as you can see, it's starting to come together. And then we'll do oh, you know what? I did it wrong, y'all. I was gonna do something completely different, but we'll leave it like this for now. Okay. I was gonna do my camera over here and just a circle, but we'll leave it like this. But I could put something else up here. But yeah, forget that. We'll have the actual the words up there spinning in a circle. Okay. So we'll put Marshall creates. Let's just do Marshall creates at the top. And I'll adjust this in a second. We're gonna add in this circle, which we'll adjust in a second as well. All right. So I'm gonna hit Marshall creates and I'm gonna come here and hit this transform tool here, and I'm gonna scale this down. Oops. Boom. Hey, we're gonna forget until because they won't apply here. Because you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it the way we originally were gonna do it. So, where's until? All right, we have the word until here. So let me hide this for a second. Okay, until. Okay, so now we're gonna put our countdown in here. It may look a little ghetto fabulous, but it'll work. So now the key here is having stuff move, y'all. Having stuff move. So there are different generators that I have. So I got some from Blendo FX, some from Motion VFX. So let's just move through some of these and see what they look like. All right. So the first thing I want to move in is the white and the this gradient background. So I'm going to go and select this white layer, and I'm going to just look at some of these animations that we have. So this looks cool to me, just to slide in. So I'm going to drag this down here over top of the white circle. Okay. So it'll come in like this. Okay. So, and I'm going to have this actually follow a second later. So I'm going to have the white one come in first, and then I'm going to have the gradient come in a second after. So I'll put it above. So if I show it, okay. So I'm gonna zoom in to make sure it looks cool. See how this looks. All right, so I'm gonna select this animation and then select white circle, and I'm gonna do, oops, hold on. I'm gonna do new compound path, but it's not letting me do it without, hold on, let me move this out the way. New compound path means that it'll kind of bake in this animation into this white circle. So I'm gonna do new compound, not path, I'm thinking about Illustrator, new compound clip. Okay. So now when this moves in, it's by itself. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing here. And I'm gonna do new compound clip. and move this back over. So I just want this to come in a second, like a second after. All right, so that looks good. It takes a little too long to come in. So boom, boom. So that looks pretty good so far. And now let's animate Marshall Creates really quickly. I like to keep stuff simple. You don't want to overdo it with the animation. So let's say it pops in from the bottom. So I'm gonna drag this down here, move it over, and then do new compound clip. So now let's look at it so far. Okay, that took way too long to come up, so I wanted to come right after. And don't mind this other stuff. Let me move it out the way so you won't get distracted by it, because we'll do that in a second. Okay, so that looks good so far. It's gonna have stuff come in a little faster. All right, that looks good. And I should have until come in at the same time, to be honest. So what I'm gonna do is show until, and I'm gonna drag. I'm actually gonna Command C, bring this in here. So it's inside of this compound clip. And it's the same length, okay? So now until Marshall Creates will come in at the same time. Oops, I have another until I need to delete. Okay. All right. Oops, I brought that in the wrong one, y'all. Supposed to be with Marshall Creates. Command V. Move this down. Okay. It looks good so far. So now I just need to have this circle come in that we downloaded from Vecteezy. So as you can see, we have the circle here. And I want this to spin the entire time. Okay. So I'm going to find another animation for it to spin. And you can preview them. So that's not what I want. And a good one a good tip is to make sure it says through. So for example, it says position in up here. So this is like when it comes in, then they have position out. So this is like for something going out of the scene. And then they have through. It may not have it in this pack, but usually they have a through, which means it'll do it the whole time. So let me go to, let me see, in behavior, and go down to through. So many different animations. It tries to show you what it'll look like, but the best way to preview it is just to roll the pointer over it. Text. I think did I pass? Oh, see it says through right here. So I'll try to find one that says through because this is what we want the circle to do. So I believe the spinning one is called like oscillate. Okay, so let me see. Oh, that's the wrong way. Oscillate. No, that's the wrong way. Z, yeah. It's another one though. Rotate Z. Okay, boom. This is the one we want. This is the one we want. So it can spin. Just keep spinning. Okay, so I'm gonna drag this here, and I'm gonna extend it and see what it does. Okay, so I'm gonna do. So if I don't do a compound clip, it'll spin the entire scene. Right? So that's not what we want. So I gotta pretty much group these and then do new compound clip. So once I do that, this will spin. So what I should have did was do it before resizing it. So I'm glad that happened. So I'm actually gonna make this 100% again. I'm gonna reset it. It's gonna be right in the middle again. So now if I do a new compound clip, it'll spin, but it's spinning a little too slowly for me. So what I'm gonna do, y'all, is I'm actually gonna reduce the duration of this because it doesn't give me a lot of options up here under the parameters. So this spins a little faster, right? So I'm gonna make it a little faster. I'm just looking at the speed for now. So that looks good to me. I'll make it a little faster. Okay, so that looks good. So now I'm gonna pretty much I'm gonna make a new compound clip, okay? So as you can see, it's spinning, right? And I'm gonna resize it and reposition it. I can show you that really quickly. Make sure transform is selected. Oops. So now it's spinning like we want it to, right? But it'll cut off. It'll stop spinning. It should stop spinning. Yep. Because I shortened it. So I have to come in here. I double click to come into the compound clip. And I'm just going to duplicate that rotate multiple times. So Command V. So now, let me see. It should be a perfect loop. And it is, right? So I'm just going to do that because this is the speed that I like. And it really just depends on the plugin that you're using. I'm using Motion M Behavior from Motion VFX, and I'll show y'all that real quick. And you can do this stuff in Apple Motion too, but I don't use that. I only use Final Cut Pro because I don't have time to be learning something else. Like if I can do what I need inside of Final Cut, I'm gonna do that. No thanks. All right, so I got M Behavior. Everything has an M, like they just because it's Motion VFX. So it's actually free, y'all. M Behavior Basic. So the one that I'm using right now is no, it's not. They do have a basic one, but the one I'm using right now isn't free. I think it's either this one or this one. But it'll show you, like for example, when you click on it, it'll be like a little preview video, but it'll show you literally what animations it does. So just pretend like it's your logo, your photo, whatever, your video. It'll show you how they come in. So, and then you have a tutorial. So I like Motion VFX because they have a lot of different stuff. Stuff runs between $79 and $100 per pack, but it's a lot of stuff in the pack. Okay. Okay, so I'm just copying this, Command C, Command V, Command V, Command V. All right, so we're good. So now if I come back here, I have this come in and then this. So I actually want this to fade in before it starts spinning. So I'm gonna have I'm actually gonna add like a cross dissolve to it. Okay, over here on the transitions, I'm gonna add this cross dissolve on top. So let me see it fade in. Yeah, so it fades in. So once this stuff animates in, it fades in. So it kind of comes in a little too slow for me. So I'm gonna just drag this whole thing over some. Let's just see how it looks like this. Okay, so now it comes in too fast. And I'm gonna extend the duration of the transition. Okay, that looks good to me for now, y'all. So what I'm gonna do is export this out as, let me go export file, go to settings, video only, Apple ProRes 444. Okay, and if this isn't selected, if it's 422, and if it's video and audio, you just want to make sure that you go to video only, then Apple ProRes 4444. All right. Okay. And then I didn't do anything to the end of it because we run out of time. We ran out of time actually, but I didn't do anything to the end of it this time. But you saw how I did this, so I'm gonna go to March Creates and I'm gonna do new countdown overlay, and I'll just save this in here, final or whatever. All right, so just exporting. You can see the time, the percentage here. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and open up Ecamm live demo mode. Okay, so we are back. We're almost done. So now let's do a new scene. Source blank. Let's just call it 444. Okay. 4444. All right. So I'm going to drag this video file on top. Once I find it. Okay. Boom. Am I muted? Am I still muted, y'all? Not muted? Okay. So now what we can do is go ahead and add the countdown overlay here. Let's just start it at 5 minutes. Let's find something different. Let's go to the fixed width. Add. Ooh, we got action, y'all. So I need to add my camera overlay in here real quick. Custom. I didn't even need to do all of that beginning animation crap. Okay, and then drag it below. Boom. Hey guys. Cool. But what I could do real quick, y'all. I don't know if I still have 20 viewers. All right, so you guys are still here. So what I could do is kind of have some more movement of these layers right here. So let's do that really quickly. All right. So let's pause this video, pause this timer, come back into Final Cut. I'm glad it's doing all of this with all of this happening on my computer. All right. Let's minimize. Okay. All right. Back to my screen. Let me take off live demo mode real quick. Okay. All right. Screen share. All right, we back.